Does that impress you? My grandkids are very impressed. Ki, Dadi is winning trophies. I said, yeah.
Hey guys! They say that time is the concept that humans created and age is just a number. Today on our Woman Entrepreneurs series, meet our stunning 73-year-old who's still kicking alive with her dreams. She is still playing badminton, she is an author, she is a teacher, and she lives and has lived and continues to live some more. Hi, this is Ankita from HyBiz TV, and today we have Shyamola Khanna ji at her home, greeting her and meeting her and talking and chit-chatting with her. So hi ma'am, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And I'm so glad you guys are here. I mean, this doesn't happen to me every day. So it's an experience altogether.
So ma'am, what are you pursuing these days?
Currently, I have gone back to my, favorite game which I used to play in college. And that is badminton. Actually, we just got encouraged by the idea that the badminton court was just behind my house. And since I last played about 40 years ago, and we had these wonderful people, Prakash Ramappa, who's been the world Masters champion for a long time, he's 78, and he got us started. And my friend Nandini, who's a year older, she's 74, and the three of us started playing. And then Prakash Ramappa said, you guys are playing, to just enter for the competition. I said, are you crazy? At this age, for me to enter a competitive game? सवाल ही नहीं उठता. This is क्या फर्क क्या पड़ता है? करो. यहाँ भी रोज खेलते हो. Go play there. You might win a trophy. Who knows? And that's how it all started. So last 2 years now, this is the second year that we're playing in competitive games. The Masters Games is meant for older people. So that becomes a very interesting prospect, and you have people who are your age and they're stressing and straining and groaning and everything else. Well, good fun, good fun.
That's amazing to hear ma'am. Like, you know, as you said, you played like 40 years before, and now when you came here, you got inspired by your peers. So can you tell us about the upcoming game that we're having right now?
So we are getting ready to go to Chandigarh to play with the YONEX-SUNRISE Masters Games. It's also supposed to be the national rankings tournaments, which means that when we participate and if we win, then we get a national ranking. So, well, yes, we're all looking forward to it. Going to Punjab at this time of the year, well, look forward to the sarson ka saag and makki ki roti. Of course. The games, it's always interesting. In the month of March, we have the nationals, which is again being played in Haryana, Panchkula, where you get to play with all the badminton players of our age group. They come from across the country, which is again a very fascinating thing because you get to meet so many people. It's a wonderful feeling. वहाँ पे जाके नहीं लगता कि अच्छा हम बूढ़े हो गए. बोला हमारे जैसे बहुत लोग खेल रहे हैं. अच्छा लगता है. My trophies, badminton trophies from the country, and where they'll, different places we've played in, Telangana and Goa.
So ma'am, during your entire life, what has shaped you to who you are today? The adventure spirit in you, to the active old life that you're currently having, which, as you said, सब लोगों के पास ये नहीं होता और सारे बूढ़े लोग ऐसे नहीं होते.
What you said, Ankita, सारे बूढ़े लोग ऐसे नहीं होते. I agree there with you, but I think the beginnings go back to my childhood, because my father was like that. He was playing tennis till he was 90. Okay. And he would be he's the one who supported all of our sisters. He says, you guys have to go and play. He was not your typical father of those times. He insisted that we should participate in games, in drama, in theatre, music, everything that was happening. He was not the believer that you're girls hai, to ghar pe rakho, sabki jaldi shadi kar do and all that. None of that. So that shaped us all. And then being married in the Air Force. My husband was another fighter pilot with a huge sense of adventure. A fighter pilot is not your normal average person. He's fearless. From him and from his support, there were so many inhibitions that I could shed, which makes a world of difference. Because, see, when you're growing up, you're told repeatedly, ये नहीं करना, वो नहीं करना. How can you do this? लड़कियां ये नहीं करती हैं, लड़कियां वो नहीं करती हैं. ऐसे कपड़े नहीं पहनना, वैसे कपड़े नहीं पहनना, ऐसा रहना, वैसा रहना. All of that. But with my husband's training and the environment of the Air Force, gave us a different attitude towards life. From my husband, I learned that these people are not to be judged from what they have to do. I remember being aghast because there was this safai wala. We have these boys who work in the crew room, and my husband asked him for a glass of water, and he wouldn't come back. So he sent another chap. He says, "जाके उसको ढूंढ के लेकर कहाँ गया? पानी मांगा था कहाँ गया?" So he came back, and this boy was crying, standing there and crying. He says, "सब वो बोलता है कि आप उससे पानी नहीं लोगे." So he says, "Why?" He says, "वो अछूत है, इसलिए वो आपको पानी नहीं देना चाहता." So my husband told him, कोई ऐसे छूत कुछ नहीं होता. तू फौज का आदमी है, मैं भी फौज का आदमी हूँ. जा जाके हाथ धो के अच्छी तरह से अब लेके आना ले पानी. That boy fell at his feet and started crying. I had been brought up to believe that theirs was a different world, totally different world. कि वो सफाई वाला आएगा तो टैप को हाथ लगाएगा, उसको मिट्टी से मांजना, उसको ये करना थोड़ा. That distance had to be maintained. But then from my husband, I learned, okay, we're all good human beings. And it opens up a different way of looking at life. You learn to appreciate people for what they are. And it doesn't matter what is the color of their religion, what is the color of their clothes, what is the color of their beliefs. It doesn't matter.
So one of the wonderful things that we found at her home were a lot of creative things which probably she has collected from all around the world because she still travels and explores. So ma'am, can you tell us about your journeys and your travels and your adventures and your stories and the creative things that you have in your home?
See, my travels have been very fortuitous. I would say I've been very lucky. I've had some great trips, of memories. So all the places that I've visited, and so a little bit of that. So my travels from the Andaman, then Arizona, and then Sri Lanka, the Democrats and the Republicans, and of course the Russian Matrushka, the barrels, Americans, Vietnamese, they're all there. It feels good just to look at them and say, oh, I have been there. And one of the first things that I wanted to do was to go to America after my husband retired, because I must have been about 10 years old and used to get this Life magazine, that big lovely photographs it used to have. And I had told my mother that when I grew up, I was going to get her one of those watches which has got diamonds studded on it. And my mother was very tickled. That's a tick when you grow up. I said, okay. But that was one good reason to go to America, little realizing that the diamond studded watches are not a part of my purview. Anyway, so traveling to the US was an eye-opener. It's a huge country and beautiful. I would say the people are very nice, very warm, very affectionate. I was living in homes of my extended family. They have these large homes which are like palaces, and maybe 3 people or 4 people in the house, dogs and cats and stuff like that. So yes, that's the way they are. And of course, one of the things about America is everything is so large. Everything is so large. You see those men riding motorbikes? They're all above 6 feet tall. And they've got piercings, they've got earrings, they've got nose rings, they've got pigtails which have got metal strips on them. And they're riding these motorbikes which are, some of us would be lost on the size of them. And then I was taken in Texas, I was told that you can't go away without having the typical steak from here. I said, that big chunk of meat is not my cup of tea, frankly speaking. So my young nephew, he says, Mashi, what's the problem? You eat what you want. After that, I will finish it for you. I said, thank you. Now that is a very sensible suggestion. That steak which fills the plate is about 6 inches, 8 inches wide, and just pure meat. We're just not used to it. But then it was an experience. I mean, you cannot come back from America without eating that. At least try it. You've read about it so much. That was one. And then watching those, we had some we could see the Red Indians in some attire in Texas again. They were there with those longhorn cattle, which is a very unusual feature of the American scenario. Very interesting, and I took a lot of photographs. And then we were watching some fantastic horse riding inside an arena. And this other nephew, he says, "Chalo Mashi, let's go have some popcorn." I said, "Okay." A popcorn comes in a bag which is this big, and the soft drink that comes in a glass which is again that big. I said, "Is that just for me?" "Yeah, you can have it." I said, "No, I can't. I want 1/3, maybe 1/4 of it." Like I said, everything is large. It is connected to the boys and girls being larger than life size, maybe. So that was one experience of traveling to the US. Thereafter, we've traveled to Greece and Turkey. And Greece is one country I would love to go back to. It's a beautiful country. I got lost at Athens. Because I got lost, I got left behind actually. I was busy trying to click a photograph of the, those palaces on top of the hill, and I was doing a long distance photograph, and I thought I would get that one shot. And when I finished doing my shot, and I realized, "Arey, baki log sab kahan gaye? Baki log sab chhode mere ko chale gaye?" I said, "How is that possible? There's supposed to be a team leader. She's supposed to look out for me." Luckily for me, I had taken the team leader's phone number, and that was the one and only time that I did not carry a phone of my own. So I begged and pleaded with all these boys who were there, trying to, some small time vendors, and they turned out to be Bangladeshis. So I started speaking to them in Bangla. They were very thrilled. I borrowed a phone, got that number, typed out the number, and sent her a message. I said, "You left me behind. I'm sitting here and crying. Don't worry, we're coming back for you." I said, "You can't leave me in a foreign country like this." And it's a big venture as far as I'm concerned, because I come from a large family where you never did anything alone, right? So that was one. But yes, traveling to Greece and Turkey. Then there was, of course, Russia, and of Russia, the St. Petersburg was a beautiful experience. Then traveling to the Andamans and Nicobar Islands was another eye-opener, because you go to that, the cellular jail, and to listen to their commentaries breaks your heart. And one of the things that was told to me was post-independence, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that this prison needs to be brought down, needs to be raised. Those who had lived in the prison, those who had been imprisoned there, they raised an objection, and it was a big team from Bengal, and requested the Prime Minister, "Please do not destroy it. Save it as a monument of history." So that's how it has survived so long, and now it is a tourist destination. People go there. And I did a lot of photographs, and I painted some of those scenes there. That one painting there that you see on the side is actually, there's a wooden beam featured in the painting. That wooden beam is where the prisoners were hanged. The rest of the Andamans, wherever there is wood, has been taken over by the plants, by the trees and the creepers and vines. That has not been affected. No termites, no rodents, nothing. ऐसे लोगों का खून ने उसको इतना धोया है कि the insects can't get it. Sad, but it's true. That's why I did a painting of that. Those are things that happened, the cruelties that were done to our people, all because they spoke up. But these are memorable things. Other than that, we've been to China, we've been to Japan, and China was also very cute, because in China, in a Chinese restaurant, there's an Indian girl in a sari, and she's dancing to Hindi music. So cute that was. And they tried to sing the songs, but with a Chinese accent. But good fun, very nice. Japan was another beautiful place to go to. I love the way the people are in Japan. They have rebuilt themselves from scratch. You see their humility. One girl at the airport is asking me, "Ma'am, sorry, I have to open your bag. I hope you don't mind." I said, "Please, go right ahead. I mean, if you told me, I would have opened it for you." "I'm so sorry." And juk ke bar apologize karke. Next thing stop was at Kuala Lumpur. What a difference. What a difference. And the way the people are. So much of discipline, no one steps out of line. If somebody is doing photographs, no one will step in front of them. It's an amazing country and people follow it. Mind you, enough Americans travel to Japan just to get a taste of what it's like. But you see them there, they are properly dressed and they are properly behaved. Nothing noisy or anything about them. Hiroshima ka memorial bana ke rakha hua hai. I couldn't go through the whole thing. I came away halfway and I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem because it was something that was... Those photographs have been collected from people who could take photographs at that time and came to the country. Some of them are gut-wrenching. Some of the people were clicking photographs of that. I said, मेरे को इसका photo नहीं चाहिए. मेरे को इसका photo नहीं चाहिए. The burnt bodies, the backs के ऊपर वो पूरा जल के ऐसे, and the person is screaming in pain because of the radioactive material fallout. My Buddha has always been one of my favorites. That one my sister did, that is her work, and it was like, because this is the desert.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and the women in the desert wear the most colorful clothes. So I've lived in the desert, so I am aware of that, and that's one of my favorite colors, favorite paintings. Sister's version of Tanjore paintings. She learned Tanjore painting, but then Tanjore art is only about making pictures of gods, because that's supposed to be gold leaf that is painted on that, stuck on that. But these two pictures were done by her, and that is another copy of the miniature work that's painted on marble.
So ma'am, I see that you're wearing a beautiful bindi. Usually we don't find such bindis in market. So can you tell us who made those bindis for you?
Yeah. So these bindis are being made by my daughter, Meghna, who is based in Bangalore, and this is part of her new venture called the Bindy Project. So she makes these bindis at home. She's assembling them together with all the little doodads that she puts in. It's something very different and innovative. Every Indian woman wearing a sari wears a bindi, right? But Meghna's bindis speak for themselves. They have a different approach, different attitude. And like she met with a lot of people in Hyderabad, they all said, "नहीं, हमको छोटा वाला बिंदी चाहिए, बड़ा वाला बिंदी नहीं चाहिए." So anyway, it's an ongoing thing. And I guess a different person, different kind of woman can wear a larger bindi.